If you've been to Disney's Hollywood Studios over the last 25-ish years, there's a great chance you have seen Muppet Vision 3D. If you haven't seen Muppet Vision 3D, it is a 3D show that has the Muppets showing you, the audience, their new 3D technology, which is Muppet Vision. But did you know that this was originally supposed to be part of a whole Muppet-themed land? That's right. In the early 1990s, Disney had plans to purchase the Jim Henson Company, and this would have given Disney free reign with the Muppets in their theme parks. Disney seemed to be very excited about this because they already had very ambitious plans for the Muppets. Where Muppet Vision 3D is currently located at Disney Hollywood Studios today is where the theme land called Muppet Studios would have gone. There were plans for 2 restaurants, 2 attractions, including Muppet Vision 3D, some stage shows, and character meet and greets. One of the restaurants was going to be the Great Gonzo's Pizza Pandemonium Parlor, which would have been run by Rizzo the Rat along with Gonzo. Since this restaurant would have been run by Gonzo, many mistakes would be made, including a gag where an explosion would come from the kitchen with many chicken feathers coming out. The big mimic of this restaurant would be that your food is served to you by audio animatronic rats moving along a track above the guests. The other restaurant would be the Swedish Chef's Cooking School. This would be a restaurant where a Swedish chef audio animatronic would be displayed in an open kitchen. One of the attractions was going to be the now open Muppet Vision 3D, but the other would have been the Great Muppet Movie Ride. This essentially would have been a comedic parody of the Great Movie Ride, with a lot of the things not going the way they're supposed to. Guests would enter what was supposed to look like an abandoned, scary-looking castle, but on the inside, it would be a colorful version of the Great Movie Ride interior with a Muppetized look. Also in every scene, Statler and Waldriff would be off to the side, offering their funny commentary that they're known for. This is unknown if the Great Muppet Movie Ride would have included live actors like the real one did. From what I found, the Muppet Stage Show's plans did eventually come to Disney's Hollywood Studios. These shows were Here Come the Muppets, which included larger-than-life Muppets. This show lasted for about a year, until it was replaced by Muppets on Location, Days of Swine and Roses. This show closed after about 3 years. Before Disney officially bought the Muppets, Jim Henson started working on his last project, Muppet Vision 3D, without knowing it. Sadly, while the purchase of the Jim Henson Company was still in negotiations, Jim Henson sadly passed away, henceforth stopping the projects in its tracks. When Disney tried to buy the Muppets from the Henson family, they refused to sell it. Originally, there were going to be no Muppet attractions at Disney's Hollywood Studios, but Frank Oz, master puppeteer and friend of Jim Henson, convinced his children that the world should see Henson's last work. So Muppet Vision 3D was the only Muppet attraction Disney's Hollywood Studios would get. But as I mentioned earlier, the Muppets did eventually get their 2 stage shows, Here Come the Muppets and Muppets on Location, Days of Swine and Roses. But that's all the Muppet presents Walt Disney World would get for a while. For all the canceled projects, the Great Gonzo's Pizza Pandemonium Parlor was rethemed to what is now known as Mama Melrose's Ristorante Italiano, and the Swedish Chef Cooking School would be turned into a studio showcase and house many film props, until eventually becoming a pizza planet a few years later. So long term, nothing big appeared to be coming to Disney's Hollywood Studios. In 2003, Disney would once again try to buy the Muppets from their new German owners, EMTV, who recently bought the Jim Henson Company back in 2000. But right before Disney bought it, they sold it back to the Henson family for just under $100 million. A year later, though, Disney managed to purchase the Jim Henson Company from the Henson family for an undisclosed sum. So in 2004, after years and years of trying by Disney and Michael Eisner, Disney finally owned the Muppets. Today, other than Muppet Vision 3D, in the parks we have Great Moments in History starring the Muppets in Magic Kingdom and Liberty Square, and the Muppet Mobile Lab in Epcot and Future World. We also now have Pizza Rizzo, which replaced Pizza Planet, and is an idea borrowing from the Great Gonzo's Pizza Pandemonium Parlor. So today, all we really have from the original Muppet Studios is Muppet Vision 3D and maybe Pizza Rizzo counts. But it sure is fun to imagine what this land would have been like.